Hello everybody, welcome back to the Soundwave Podcast. I'm Amelia and today we're joined by John Lee from Escape Education.
Hello.
Hi, John.
I'm Emma. Yes, hello. Oh God, that's awkward, isn't it? Emma, I'm here, and Dave's here too.
Yeah. So, John, thanks for coming to see us and joining us on our podcast this morning.
Woo.
In Whitehaven.
A long friend of Soundwaves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We used to
Co-habitually.
Share a space together.
share a space. And it's good to see you again.
Thanks.
We're going to start off, I think, by asking you the same question we ask everyone who comes on the Soundwave podcast. The simplest question ever. What are your favourite 3 songs?
Oh, great question. And what I really appreciate is the amount of time I've been given to think about this. So number 1, I'm going to start at number 1 if that's okay and go down. So I'm going to go Towers by Bon Iver.
Oh.
Is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2, probably 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Nice.
And then finally Anything by CMAT. So probably,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
See,
She's a
Matt was-
funky Irish musician.
Didn't you go and see Matt at Kendall Calling?
I did.
Yeah.
I snuck away to go watch that.
Yes, I
yeah, no,
remember.
I think she's awesome. Really good vocals and pretty crazy on stage.
So, I want to go and check that out. Is that CMAT as in S-E-A?
CMAT.
As in,
Irish.
As in the letter C.
All right, I'm with you. Okay, that's why I need you.
It's like you see mats.
Okay. Nice. Well, I'm going to check them out anyways, especially that CMAT. Not heard that. Well, thanks for coming down, John, and fetching this wonderful array of things that you've got on the floor, which we're going to talk about at some point, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you've just fetched a load of random stuff along. And that's
Pretty
what you
much,
always do in your Escape Education merchandise there. But can you tell us, well, we know, but can you tell anyone who's listening about Escape Education?
Yeah, that's no problem. So Escape Education is a wild space for young people, children, a few families, the occasional older person, to hang out and to experience nature in a different way. But at the same point of time, it's about having an opportunity to explore their mental health and well-being and their connections with nature. So the goal is that we give an exposure and it improves a young person or children's mental health and well-being. That's the whole goal, really.
Wow.
It's an escape from school during school time that gives them a break.
Awesome.
And they can hopefully improve their well-being. That's the goal.
And so how long has that been running as Escape Education now?
So we're 3 years old next Monday.
Next Monday,
I
of course,
know.
birthday
Very
celebration
exciting.
thing. Yeah, 3 years, wow.
Yeah, 3 mad years.
And I mean, it's an awesome project, and we've seen it firsthand, and the young people that you work with. But how did you end up doing this?
It's a really good question. Trial and error, I think, is the honest truth.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a foundation that's built on a lot of trying stuff out, things that I was interested in. So I always wanted to work with young people and children, but I wanted to do it in a fun way. I wanted a job that was cool. So started out in like outdoor kind of education, doing sports and residentials with young people. Did that for quite a long time. And then ended up in Whitehaven, working at a secondary school to do like kind of youth work to kind of bridge that gap between the classroom problems and the young people's problems out of school. So I did a lot of outdoor sports with that, and getting them outdoors doing things, a lot of bushcraft. And then I felt that wasn't the right avenue, so I'd do stuff after school in youth work. I couldn't really work out this bridging problem of when kids needed the support. So I felt like when you were in school, it'd be a great time to help them because they're kind of a captive audience, they're there. But schools are quite reluctant sometimes to let them come out of classes. And so I went back to youth work, then back into schools and kind of so forth, until I kind of fell upon a school that were willing to give it a try. to have a go at putting an outdoor kind of curriculum in place, but all about well-being. And I kind of did it with a couple of lads who suffer with ADHD and autism, had really big success, and then we started to target like low reading interventions and things like that, stuff that would make children in schools feel like they weren't as good as other pupils. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it could be sports, it could be reading, it could be spelling, but doing it in a different way and doing it outdoors. And then another school offered me a job in Whitehaven to do like mental health lead in the school. So I brought that package into the school and kind of really went for it. So we kind of launched a big forest school, and alongside that was constant interventions for young people. But we just couldn't meet the need of that many young people.
Right.
And then what we started to see was lots of people asking outside of the school if we could do that project work. So I went part-time at that school where I was a mental health lead, and then it kind of exploded. Yeah. An escape education that was started off with just a couple of kids local to me turned into around 70 to 90 kids a week.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have small groups and one-to-ones. So, yeah.
That is amazing, really, isn't it?
It's mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did about 6 months part-time, but then I was working so much after school.
Yeah.
It was just like, I can't sustain this. Yeah. So I kind of decided then after 6 months, and someone called Emma that worked in my school kept kind of saying, you should do it, it'd be fine, everything will be fine. So I kind of, it's a bit your fault, Emma. Like the only person in that school that kind of encouraged me to go for it, where everyone else wanted me to do both. Yeah. So it's nice when you meet other people who kind of can see what you're trying to do. And it's okay to not just be in a safe school setting, in a sense, to gamble a bit. And
so there's a bit of a risk, you think?
Oh yeah,
like a bit of a risk?
Yeah, I've still got a mortgage. So I think that's the thing. I guess you're putting your money on the line a bit, in a sense. And I didn't, when we first went full time, didn't pay myself properly because I wanted to get the business equipment in place and stuff. But you kind of begin to start to see there's a process here that if I kind of start to invest in myself as well, I might enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, once the business was going and we had the equipment and we had you guys, really gave us a help by having a space to use, and that kind of helped us get off the floor really and get going. Yeah. And now we're nearly 3 years old and we're fully booked till next autumn. Wow. So yeah, and brilliant. I've got a mad waiting list.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, in a really good position, and yeah, things are really good.
So you're kind of looking now for maybe expanding your team a bit?
I don't know. I think if I did expand my team, I'd want to bring someone in who doesn't have the same skills as me. Maybe like a counsellor, youth counsellor, that type of thing, so they could support the group work that's going on and just kind of tag into it rather than have another person playing with axes and fire.
Okay. But let's talk about playing with axes and fire.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. John's brought in some fabulous... I know people listening can't actually see what John's brought in with him, but tell us about what you brought with you, John.
Oh, I just brought like a kind of smattering of stuff that's just from like the last 6 months, probably. Just some cool things that have ended up on display in the office. Are really nice. So yeah, there's all sorts on the floor. Do you want to just kind of just pick them up and we're going to have a nat, shall we? All right. Yeah.
Well, let's just try and
what do you want me to pick up?
Let's just try and describe what is here for people listening. I can see a pile of photographs.
Yeah.
A weapon.
It's a Viking axe.
It's a Viking axe, Dave.
A weapon beside what looks like a dead bird.
It's not a dead bird.
If that's taxidermy, it's the worst taxidermy.
It's a cuddly robin, and I love little robins.
And it has a trick.
Oh wait, what? Oh, nice.
We're suddenly
what's
outside.
that beside that weapon? Is that another weapon?
This one.
Yeah.
It's a slingshot, is it?
So no, it's a kendama that we've designed. So it's like a toy, so you can kind of catch it on different parts. So it's some willow that we've weaved into a circle, and then we've made like a kind of, I guess, like a thumbstick, so you can throw it up and try and catch it.
That's so cool.
Which is quite fun.
Nice.
Wow.
It's a little bit addictive, and that's a kendama that's next to it.
A kendama
kind of thing.
Whoa. Whoa!
It's like a Japanese skill toy, so it's our woodland take on a Japanese skill toy.
Nice.
Fun for hours.
Because I can't whittle a ball.
And
that looks, yeah.
Well, you're saying that. I'm seeing a whittled spoon.
Yeah.
That looks fairly awesome.
This is, I guess, one of the things we've just started doing with some of the older young people we're working with. So it's like whittling a spoon from a log. So we've had a lot of storms recently. So we've had a lot of wood that we've had to process. And this is a ash little spoon that one of our lads made recently. He's in year 11. And it was his first attempt at making a spoon, which I think is pretty good.
That's a pretty good first attempt.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it does do a spoonful of sugar, which is the goal for his hot chocolate.
If that was on a shelf in one of them shops in Keswick, it would probably be about
40 quid.
40 quid,
Yeah.
40
yeah,
quid.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. And it's nice. It's it just needs a bit of kind of cleaning up. It's not finished really, but he liked it as it was, a bit rustic.
There you go.
So when people come and work with you, John, you've got some cool spaces set up, haven't you?
Yeah.
Some woodland areas. You want to tell us? Because I've had the pleasure. Well, all of us have been, haven't we? We've been down to John's fabulous adventure
Had mud
places
rubbed
in the
on my
face.
face by John. And some
Tell
kind
us
of
about
strange initiation.
them.
Yeah, we've got 2 spaces up at Westlake Science Park, who are the landowners. They're also our kind of office providers at the moment. So we have an indoor space with a kind of workshop. So do woodwork if it's a wet day and it's not very nice weather. So we could kind of retreat into there if we need to. And then we have 2 outdoor areas that are bespoke. One's specifically for one-to-one work, and the other one is for group work. We've got 2 shelters that are now permanent shelters, and they create that kind of space to make sure it doesn't matter what the weather's like, that young people won't get turned away. They can still be outside, but they've got a place to retreat to. And yeah, they're pretty epic, to be honest. But we're like now 3 years in, it's evolved. So we're now having to do a lot more to protect the forest and to kind of help it, because when it's been wet for like all winter and we're doing all year round work, which a lot of other projects like mine don't do, we have to do a lot more. So probably moved about 3 tons of wood chip this winter to kind of protect paths and things like that, and we've had to put membranes down to make certain areas drain better, and then that's allowed the fauna to return, so we're not damaging the forest too much. So we have to kind of be mindful and use the weather. So we put in more paths and more access, security cameras, just to keep it safe and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really evolved. So when you guys next come up, you're going to get a bit of a shock, I think. It's, when I've looked back at photos, it's been quite shocking. But Beck, the people who've supported me to be up there, if it wasn't for them like you guys did, it's that people who get alongside you as a new business, they've really believed in it and have helped me, especially the grounds maintenance team there and the arborists that they use at KP. They've really been keen to support the project, and then Morgan Sindel have joined in and others, so they've seen the value of it, and we've done a lot of kind of Skillshare work together and stuff, and it's really coming off now. And
it is like pretty magical space, and it's one of them that you drive past Westlake Science Park on your way to wherever you're going, or you're going to work there or whatever, and probably don't realise that just off into them
path,
there's like this like little utopia,
I think that's the great thing about the science park. We've got Good Lives project up there, and now you've got William King who's doing the building course stuff up there. There's little pockets where it's not just science or nuclear development and stuff. They're actually starting to bring communities in, so you're kind of starting to see a wider variety of people there. And there's another mental health charity that have just moved in there and stuff, so I think we're starting to see that they really do understand the community, but now they've got the opportunity to bring others in, like when yourselves were there. So.
I mean, it was a nice place to be, Westlakes, when the sun was shining, right? It was a nice place to be, nice to go on a walk around.
Oh, definitely.
Site every now and again. But we've run, we're just about to stop running a youth club at Parton, but we've fetched up a group from from there twice now, to do like an escape education day, and both times were absolutely fabulous. But the thing that I noticed, the main thing, and I don't know if this is the same for anybody else, is like some of the things that you have the young people doing, activities and basically getting back to nature a little bit, and that and they're there for a few hours and they don't have the phones in their hand.
Yep.
And I found that like really kind of profound actually, because you like looking and going, these lot are absolutely loving this,
Immersed
running around in the trees and climbing the trees, cooking sausages on a fire, whittling things, using a knife and all of that kind of thing, and the phones don't come out, and you go, you know what, that's the kind of stuff when I was a lad, that's what we used to do, go and burn stuff and make fires and camps and that. But we didn't have mobile phones and things. So we were always wanting to get out.
I think there's that perception that maybe the things we do are considered dangerous and risky, and the mobile phones is safe.
Well,
I think I would be on the other side, opposite side, especially from a parent point of view, but also a mental health point of view. I think the real dangerous thing is the mobile phone. I think it restricts, changes social interactions and everything else.
Exactly, yeah.
But on the other side, the risky play stuff we do, I think it allows children to get back to nature, to go back to basics, to do things that maybe they've been told they shouldn't or can't, but we show them a kind of a positive way to do it. I guess everything's done in a framework of safety. We're probably really risky. Everything we do when you look at it from the outside, but when you zone in on it, they understand how to manage a fire. They understand the safety. They understand the law around it.
They're amazing skills,
so we do really kind of, when we teach anything, especially knives and the conversations around carrying a knife, I know we don't get it too much in West Cumbria, but it's been such a big thing on TikTok and in the news with the young people that they really want to talk about it. And some of them have said that they've wondered if people in their school carry knives because we don't have metal detectors like they do in America and stuff like that. So it's just those little things that just by getting the equipment out actually starts discussions that we don't expect. And like I say, I think when they get to put those mobile phones down, I think, and we had it with we had some students recently come. So we've had about 90 students who are doing early years and childcare courses come to us recently, and they asked if they could have vape breaks and things like this put into the 3 hours they were with us, and we didn't. We said they could, but they didn't. And then same with them, the teacher said that they're quite shocked they didn't get their phones out. Because when they're in a lesson, they almost constantly look at it, and they'll say it's for the time, but it's because they've got an update on and they want to see what it is. So we do feel it's escaping that side of it. And the idea, again, with the word of the whole business, the escape education, the idea is it's teaching them how to be outside in a different way. And I definitely benefit from it. So I hope, and I know they do. The differences we see with our young people are massive.
Oh, definitely. Even like say, even them that just come up for that one session, they come away muddy, sweating, out of breath, all of that, and getting out and we did this, we did that, telling the parents when they're getting back, and then going, that's cool. That's something they're going to remember,
Definitely.
And that's awesome.
So what would a typical week? Is it the same every week, or are you just?
Oh my god!
Do you just take it as it comes?
Yeah, it is. So I kind of, if you imagine 12 weeks, that's a typical 12 weeks. So everything's the same for 12 weeks. So the minimum amount of time that someone comes to us is for 12 weeks. So in a week, it does have a bit of a flow to it. So we have group sessions at the same time that happen, and we have one-to-one sessions that happen. But every single session is based on what that group or young person wants to do. So we don't thread a curriculum that we've decided. We thread a curriculum based on their interests and wants. So it's a child pedagogy model. So similar to if you guys had someone come here and they're into punk music, you'd maybe look at genres and songs that are kind of around that for them to kind of look at or kind of learn next. And that's exactly the same as what we do. Can sound like we're just doing what the kids want, but again, we're threading through that like a kind of a chord that's teaching and kind of holding the space. So if they wanted to make stuff with knives, they're going to learn about foraging woods. They're going to learn about different types of woods, what's best, woods to use. They're going to learn about knife safety, how to use knives properly, and different equipment, how to sharpen knives. So it kind of has a lot of different patterns to it. but the main idea is every session is different, and it really is. And sometimes when they want to cook and the other one doesn't in the afternoon, so you've set up a morning session for cooking, and in the afternoon you've already had to put it away to set up a different thing. It can be annoying, but then you see when they arrive that you've remembered what they want to do, or you've remembered their interest and you've changed it, and that flexibility and adaptability that they see from when they come out of a school environment that just can't support that. It just can't when they're in classes of 32 something kids. When they come to us and they just see that you've remembered, and they've maybe forgotten already what they were going to do, what they said they wanted to do, but then you do it and they're like, oh, I wanted to do this. I think you give them that trust.
Yeah.
And then because it's based around their interests, they're enjoying it more. We add challenges into it. We put difficult parts in it. We don't just make it an easy ride, but what they get out of it is that resilience mindset, but alongside a kind of boost to their self-esteem. And the whole time, if it's a one-to-ones, it's got an intervention that's a very low-level intervention going alongside it. So they're able to kind of help themselves without realising it. It's very non-intrusive. We're not a counselling service or anything like that, but what we try and do is let them find the answers to what's going on in their own lives.
Smart.
So it's a nice space of time to explore it.
Great. I just wanted to go back to these items as well.
There's some cool ones, right?
Yeah, there is. So that one there,
Which
like
one?
a plaque. It says Escape Education.
Oh,
who we are, what we do. Was that from the exhibition?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it was at a gallery in Keswick.
Yeah, Keswick Museum.
Yeah.
And what was that about?
So we were asked. So Keswick Museum asked if we could put some items on display there for a chunk of time in their community gallery. So we kind of explained to them I don't really make stuff for a gallery, but they more wanted to showcase what we did. Okay. And as we kind of created the curation alongside them of kind of young people's work, we had to kind of explain it more and more really about what we do. So it turned into kind of young people's stories, and 4 young people in particular pretty much made the whole thing. Yeah. 2 boys and 2 girls, and they got to talk about what they wanted to make. So it became part of their sessions really, is designing something to go on display in Keswick. Yeah. And then they came to the opening. We kind of changed our brief as we got into it. And it became a showcase of 4 young people's work and 1 group. It was quite amazing really in the end. Cool. It was lovely. And then the feedback we got from it was really powerful. Because we set up some activities that people could do and workshops while the community gallery was in the place. So we did some stuff in Keswick, went foraging and cooking, and had people I'd never thought I'd meet there, and some we've stayed in touch with. So
really,
it's been really nice. And that was I think we'd only been going for about a year when we did that. Yeah, so it was quite a lot for us to do, but now it's quite a nice thing to look back on that we did.
Great. And I can't help but notice then there's a picture someone's drawn.
Oh, that's the best picture.
But it looks like they're throwing a guitar.
Hold
in
on.
the fire.
Oh, that's I kind of brought it because it had a guitar in it. So this is a picture from one of the young people I work with. It's drawn from charcoal that we made on our Towie stove. So he was cooking on it and then making biochar and charcoal at the same time. So this drawing is something he drew later, and it was in one of those low-level interventions we talk about, where they have an opportunity to draw things and talk about them, and go on a bit of a journey. It's called Drawing and Talking. So this is a picture that he drew with no one leading him to draw it. Just how are you feeling today? Just draw a picture and kind of go for it, and we pick it apart a little bit and talk about it in more detail. And a story kind of emerges from every picture, which is really cool. So this was a guy. He's a cowboy. And his friend has just died. So he got this kind of, I guess, headstone over here, next to this big fire that he's then tossing a guitar into. And him and his friend were a duo. So they'd go and do cowboy stuff together, and then they'd have fires together, and they'd play and sing songs together. And now his friend's passed away. The guy has realised he doesn't need his guitar anymore, so he's tossing it into the fire. And then there's this big tree that's growing behind him to keep him sheltered and to keep the fire burning hot, just in case. And when he woke up the next day, he regretted burning his guitar.
Right.
So he went off on his horse to find a new guitar.
Wow.
So yeah, really powerful drawing.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah, what a cool story.
It's a Netflix series waiting to happen.
Yeah, and it's got so much stuff in there that young people maybe don't talk about
Yeah.
too much.
It's deep, isn't it?
Yeah. And,
Questioning everything. It's like, was
really
it really
powerful.
a cowboy?
and it's framed because it goes on the wall in my office
Wow.
next to a couple of other ones that I just really thought they were awesome.
Very.
But yeah, what a thing to draw after we've just made charcoal.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because it seems to be like a thread throughout all of your work where it enables people to be creative.
Oh,
Which is maybe
absolutely.
something that they wouldn't necessarily have thought was going to happen if they're going to go to go do something in the woodland spaces. But you actually, a lot of this stuff that you're showing us it's beautiful. Like they're making these really intricate woodwork that the drawing things made with charcoal that they've made, make it like storytelling. Like it's really quite creative, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we're definitely not a forest school where we want to churn out stuff. There are forest schools out there that you go and it's like, come and sit down at a table. We've got this craft for you to make,
right.
and we're going to do it in this, like this, and they kind of churn out like a factory line of stuff.
Right.
And we're not like that in a way. We're kind of a bit more free.
Yeah.
So it just kind of happens quite organically and naturally. And like I say, we've got a lot of stuff on the floor here, but it's if we think about 90 kids a week and they change every 12, it's not a great amount of stuff in that sense. And normally the things they make are very small because we want to capture that creativity and give them a chance. But a lot of it on the photos that you'll see, it's being creative with nature from a touching it point of view and exploring it without being able to take it home. So those photos there are all pictures of nature foraging, making spirals, which is our symbol for our business, and an E that gets bigger, making it out of natural things and getting the young people to understand that coming here is a part of their journey for their teenage years or their primary years, whatever it is. But also we then get them to think about what their life's been like so far, where are they going, where are they from, what's got them to this point, but what's next. And for some of our secondary students that's really important because they're just getting ready to start their GCSEs and things like that, so it gives them that space to, I am uncertain about my future, so if they want to talk about it with peers or us, there's space to do that. But also when they hear what each other are thinking, it kind of inspires that. So a lot of our stuff is more that in that moment. And then other stuff is, like you say, it's a take home. But yeah, it's quite wild what we do on a regular basis. It's so different, and I think that's what I'm becoming more relaxed about. I used to sit in my office and worry what I'm going to do this week and try and come up with new ideas. But just being with those groups of children, they kind of create their own ideas, and you don't really have to do much. You kind of it's about holding that space, which is hard.
That's by
but I'm getting more
led by them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, letting them lead it, and that's what we just kind of keep putting the framework of safety in, and expanding on it. So the group I'm with this afternoon, we're doing whittling, but we're making charcoal crayons, and we're going to charcoal them next week. So it's kind of, they wanted to do nice stuff. Then we've got hammocks going up, we've got swings going up, we've got the slack lines going up. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, but alongside that, they'll be doing their own thing as well. So it could be den building, it could be exploring, climbing trees, it could be...
Wow.
They'll probably play their World War II game that they've made. And again, it's that space where they're allowed to have that opportunity to bring their history lesson to life, but that's not exactly what they're doing. They're just playing, and they're free. They feel free enough in their age group to go and do that in front of their peers, and that's the constant of what we want, is to allow that space.
Awesome. So looking at that spiral in someone's journey spiral, what about yours, John? Because you're not from around here, right?
I'm not, no.
You're not one of them.
I got absorbed, 20 years kind of in and out of Cumbria, so it feels like home. But yeah, I'm very much not a local in that sense, am I? But yeah, no, I think that's what's got me to here. It's, it's almost like trials and errors of trying stuff to find what's going to actually help young people and tweaking it constantly. I think the thing I was always worried about, that I'd have to set something up myself to do it, and then all the kind of the difficulty of what that means, comes alongside it. So I think any small business owner has that kind of fear that it could disappear. There's no safety net of pensions and all that stuff unless you make them, which means you need to make more money to make a pension. So yeah, I guess that my journey is still the same. It's still unwrapping, and but I feel more relaxed about it now.
I mean, you could have been still riding BMXs, right?
Yeah, I could have still been teaching BMX on a BMX track, or in an indoor skate park, or even racing bikes. But yeah, it's funny what gets you to these points. Yeah. And I think if someone said to me, "You'll have your own outdoor thing going on where you let kids lead," and
my next question there, when you were,
would you be happy with that? I don't know.
Yeah. When you were at any point when you were racing BMXs, do you think, you know where I think I'm going to end up?
Yeah, well, even when I was working for like Gatorade and Monster and stuff, I didn't think that I would work with kids again after I ended up doing that job, and that wasn't that long ago, really. Probably 15 years ago I was doing that job, looking after athletes from all different countries, and they're in the UK. But yeah, literally within 6 months I missed the school work, and I was back at the school teaching balance ability, like teaching nursery and reception kids how to ride a bike from scratch without stabilizers, and then taking them up to a skate park and going like, have fun. So it's that kind of model of, I think I've always been around risky play and working with young people in risky environments, and I think by doing that, from having them up high up in trees and on abseil towers or on cliff faces and archery ranges, it gives you that confidence that you can do it. It is just quite scary when if you had school contracts and you get everything, you get sick pay, and everything's safe. I just have to learn now as a business to kind of keep putting in things to safeguard that. And I'm due to setting up my business nearly 3 years ago. I literally annually I have courses I have to redo at the same time. So this year has been like a heavy month of redoing courses and certifications to kind of make sure it's all up to date. And there's always more. There's always more. From safeguarding to insurances and everything. So yeah, this time of year it always feels quite busy because summer's coming, so you're getting ready for that peak of work. But at the same time, it's like, have I redone this? Have I redone that? Have I got this in place? And you kind of get to the end of it, and you're like, I can rest for another year. This is good. I can forget about that paperwork and just crack on. So yeah, it definitely feels like I'm still on my journey, and it's. Yeah, I don't know what the future is, but I just think we're just going to carry on as we are. I don't want to grow too big too quick. I think it feels like we've got the right people in at the minute, and we're doing some good stuff. But like I said to you before, I think adding someone in or giving my admin to someone, that kind of a thing might be a wise step next. But yeah, I'd like to. I'm doing a lot of work with Lakes College. I'd like to maybe mentor a couple of those and bring them in to maybe while they're doing their course they can come and be part of us. And great, let some young people who really a few years ago would have been with us, let them kind of input into what we're doing. I think that would be quite exciting.
Very cool. I think we're going to leave that there, and what we like to do though is ask if people want to see your work, see what you're doing, is there anywhere they can go and check it out online or anything? Yeah.
So you can head on Instagram. That's got a kind of a big kind of smattering of what we do. It's called Escape Education. It's got escape within one of those low level line things in education. And that's the best way to have a look at what we're up to. Great. Thank you.
And can individuals get in touch with you, John, or is it just schools? Is it?
Yeah. So we have the LEA contact us. Schools, private organisations, groups, clubs, parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, all sorts. So yeah, if anyone wants to get in touch, we'll always do what we can to help people out. The whole idea is we can be flexible with our timing. So if we have someone who needs some help, and we'll always look at what we can do.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
You're welcome.